Hi everyone, I'm CaliKim. Welcome to my garden. I'm so glad that you're joining me today. I absolutely love growing my strawberry plants during the spring and summer. However, winterize your plants now or risk losing them. Now, while these hardy little plants are super tough, they will not withstand cold temperatures without help. If you don't protect them, they could get frost damage, which could adversely affect their spring production and how many berries you're going to harvest. Or worse yet, they could die. One reason why I absolutely love growing strawberries and why they're a really good crop for you to grow. They're perennials, so you really get a lot of bang for your buck. What that means is they come back year after year if protected for the winter time. Now, strawberries grow best in the spring and the summer when temperatures are between 70 and 85 degrees, even into the fall here in Southern California. However, as the days get shorter and the temperature starts to get cooler, they do go dormant. And a sign of dormancy is when the leaves turn crispy, the color starts to change, and the production starts to decline. This generally happens in October to November in most areas. So don't be alarmed if you see this on your strawberry plants. It doesn't mean they're dead. It's perfectly normal, and it's just a sign they're going into dormancy for the winter time. Now, what dormancy does is it focuses the plant's energy on the roots and the crowns, keeping them alive instead of on the leaves and the fruit production. And that's why you tend to see these die off during the dormant phase. When they start to go dormant is when you need to winterize them because they will not survive temperatures of below 20 degrees. So for your northern gardeners, the time is generally now. So let me show you what to do when that happens to your strawberry plants. Now, strawberries don't have thick bark like many other perennials like trees do to protect them from the cold. Now, in areas that get only light frost or no frost, like here in Southern California or other southern areas, you may not need to do any special care to protect your strawberries in the wintertime. But your northern gardeners that consistently get hard frosts, the first step is to prune back your strawberry plants when they go dormant. Well, my strawberry plant here in this 5-gallon container is not quite going dormant yet. It's pretty much done producing for the season. So I'm going to sacrifice the green growth in order to show you northern gardeners exactly what to do to prune and clean up your strawberries. So the first thing is you want to grab your strawberry plant by the stem and trim off all the stems and all the leaves. Now, you don't want to trim down as far as the crown. The crown is kind of this woody part that comes out from the soil surface. Just trim the stems and the leaves so the plant's energy is redirected into the crown and the roots. So I'm just grabbing the stems here. Nice sharp pair of pruners here. Little snip. Takes off those leaves. And they might be dead, dry, and crispy for you if you're in colder temperatures already. And we're going to go ahead and do this to all the strawberries in this pot. Now, what you want to look for in this process is any runners that are coming out from the plant. Here we've got a really, really nice runner that's shooting out from the mother plant, already starting to develop roots. So you do not want to throw these away. These are brand new plants, free plants for next year. So what I'm going to do at this point is just go ahead and disconnect it from the mother plant. They're so easy to root. You can either root it in a jar of water if you're in a colder area. You probably don't want to leave it outside right now. For me, I'm just going to pop it here in my 5-gallon smart pot that I've got endive growing in. And these roots will start to grow and I'll have a new strawberry plant for next year. So make sure you do this to all your runners, all over your garden and your raised beds so you don't sacrifice any free plants for next spring. So let's go ahead and get this pot all pruned up. And we'll come back and show you the next step in the pruning and cleanup process. By pruning and cleaning up your strawberry plants, you're helping your plants be healthier for the springtime, and you're also taking away hiding spots for pests in the wintertime, removing any diseased plant material so it doesn't harbor pathogens over the winter or harbor pests that can damage your plants come spring. I actually have some brand new little leaves coming out from the strawberry crown. So in warmer climates, it could also encourage some brand new growth, even over the winter time. Take off all these dry, crispy leaves. After you prune your plants, you definitely want to inspect your plant very closely for aphids, spider mites, or any other pests that might be around the roots or the crowns. And I definitely do see some aphids in here. You can see they're tiny, teeny, tiny little bugs here. They're on the stems of my plants. I put about a teaspoon of takedown concentrate in my spray bottle and then spray my plants thoroughly. Takedown is great because it's organic and it kills on contact. to immediately get rid of the pests. This works really well on sucking insects such as aphids and spider mites. And by the way, if you find this video helpful, could you please do me a favor? Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and share with your strawberry loving friends. Thanks. Next step to winterize your strawberry plants is give them a 3 to 4 inch layer of mulch to insulate them during the wintertime against the freeze-thaw cycles. Now, you can use shredded leaves here, you can use pine needles, you can use shredded straw. And what the freeze-thaw cycle is that in cold climates, the soil can actually freeze overnight and then thaw during the day. And this constant expanding and contracting can actually heave the strawberry plants up, and mulching them helps protect the plants from the stress of temperature swings. It also helps retain moisture, which protect the roots from drying out in both cold and in mild winter climates. Now, you southern gardeners, you do need to do this too. It will help protect the roots from the cold that we do get here, regulate the soil temperature, and also help protect the roots from drying out. Now, when we plant strawberries in the spring, we always leave the crowns exposed. But for winterizing them, you can completely cover the strawberry plants with mulch. In fact, the colder you are, the more mulch you're going to need. You can even add up to 6 inches of mulch if you want to, or more, to protect your strawberry plants from extreme cold. You'll also be following these same steps whether you're growing strawberries in your containers, in the towers, or here in raised beds. Prune, spray for pests, and mulch. Next step, cover. If temperatures are expected below freezing for several days, it's a good idea to cover your overwintering strawberries to protect them from extreme cold. Now, you can use anything for this. It doesn't have to be fancy. This is an old moving blanket. You can also use a piece of heavy-duty plastic. The most important thing, though, is you don't want the cover touching your plants. Now my plants are all trimmed and pruned, so there's no danger of that here. But if you're growing in a southern climate and you're expecting freezing temperatures, you don't want your cover touching your plants. I can't say that enough. So what you're going to want to do to protect your plants is to put a small little stake, a couple small little stakes around your containers, a little cedar stake. Put 4 of these or 3 of these around my container plant here. And then just simply drape my moving blanket over my container. Can even tuck it in here around the bottom just so no cold air gets in. And this provides that extra layer of protection to protect those all-important roots and crowns from the cold temperatures. Now, when the sun comes up during the day or if the weather warms up, you do want to remove this cover so it doesn't get overheated underneath and burn your plants, especially when you're using plastic covers that can overheat very, very quickly. Now, covering is super important for container plants, for hanging baskets, for towers, because they don't have the soil all around it to insulate it from the cold. Your raised beds and your in-ground gardens, if they're mulched very heavily, you may be able to skip this step. For additional protection for you southern gardeners on those cold nights, or you northern gardeners for extended cold periods, you can always move your container, your hanging baskets, or your tower up against a brick wall, the sheltered locations such as a garage. Now, this brick wall absorbs the heat during the day, which means my strawberry plants will stay warmer at night. All the tips I just shared with you today on how to overwinter your strawberries are written down in my new book, The 10-Minute Gardener. This book is going to be releasing this winter time, but you can pre-order it now over at CaliKimGardeningHome.com. It's how to have a garden and have a life, 85 time-saving tactics. And when you pre-order, you get a free garden guide along with a $10 coupon to our site. Ah, these fresh strawberries just smell so good. Do yourself a favor, winterize your strawberry plants now when they start to go dormant. Trust me, you're going to be so glad in the spring that you took this extra step. You're not going to lose them over the winter time, and they'll burst back into life again, giving you lots of strawberries to harvest. Stop by our YouTube community page and say hello. We'd love to see you over there. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.